Today it is Saturday, which means it is parkrun day, and we're heading back to Southwick Country Park Parkrun to try and get a sub 25 time. So I previously achieved a time of 25:21, so today it is going to be a bit of a slog to see whether I can beat it. It's a slightly hilly course, but I'll go through that in just a moment. Unfortunately, Storm Bert is out, which is why I'm recording this in the car, and also the GoPro may get a few rain droplets on it, but we'll have to see. But I'll go back to the office now, where we can take a look at a few of my stats from the previous run in Southwick Country Park, and we can also have a look at a summary of the course. So let's take a quick look at a summary of the course then. So it is a 2 3/4 lapper around Southwick Country Park. You can see in that top left hand side that it is a gradual incline till the top and then a quick decline, which makes it that little bit harder. It is all on hard trail paths and it has a max elevation of approximately 49 metres with an elevation gain of 40 metres. So that's a quick summary of the course, and now let's take a look at my stats from the previous run, which was done on the 3rd of August. So perfect conditions for the run, especially compared to today with Storm Bert. But let's see how well we did just then. So we got a time of 25:21, and that is the time to beat. If we get ahead of that, I will be happy. The position was 47th, so again, another thing to beat is my finish position. Age grade percentage is just over 50% at 50.89, and my pace was 5 minutes and 4 seconds per kilometre. So we need to reduce that down to 5 minutes per kilometre if we do want to get under that 25 minutes today. And then finally, just before we get into the run, let's take a look at my total stats of park run itself. So number of park runs which I've ran is 63 with 46 different locations complete. We're trying to get to that half cow club of 50 locations, but obviously that will not be increasing today. My best finish position was 4th, and that was set at Zielony Jar in Poland, and my fastest times are listed below, and obviously I'm not going to get anywhere near that one today as I am recovering from injury. So we made our way down to the start line, and as you can see, it was not a nice day. Puddles everywhere, quite muddy, and the grass especially was quite boggy too, which I didn't realise until I started running, and you will see in just a moment that was a bad mistake. Also, the path that we are stood on currently had just been resurfaced with trail sort of gravelly stones, so it was quite unstable on foot too, as it had not all fallen into place yet. But that was fine, it just knew that it was going to be a bit slower than we expected. But we are going to set off. Now we are going, and the park run has started, so hopefully we can get a decent time. There were a couple of pacers here, so there's a 30-minute pacer just there on that right-hand side, and just further up there was a 28-minute pacer. Unfortunately, no 25-minute pacer today, though, otherwise I could have stuck just in behind them. But we have had a fairly slow start, very busy on the path, quite difficult to get around people too, as you have to go into the grass. This was a bad idea. Wet feet from the off, very boggy here too, so it was quite difficult, a lot of energy being used just to overtake people to begin with. So for that reason, I'm going to hop back onto the tarmac path, and then hopefully we can start getting back to our pace if we are to try and beat that 25-minute time. And so the incline starts here. So the incline is for pretty much half, maybe 3/4 of the course. You are constantly going uphill a very gentle incline. As you can see, very muddy, very wet too. You can see some rain droplets dropping onto the camera, and you'll see my legs at the end too. They were coated in mud. But if you do want any more information on the elevation, my split times, things like that, I will leave a link to my Strava in the description below. And also, if you are enjoying, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. We try and get a park run out every week, and we're hoping to get some more running content out soon. So hopefully we should try and go for a 10k at some point. That is my goal. A 10k in under an hour would be a great goal for me. Doing okay at the moment. We've started to pick up the pace a little bit more. The pace monitor in that bottom right is going crazy. That is because the GPS around here wasn't ideal, but I am running at about a 5-minute pace right now, so just on time to getting under that 25 minutes. So as you can see, this bit got very muddy, and you can see lots of puddles too, so you're going to get muddy today, especially Storm Bert was not holding back whatsoever. Very windy too. You may see on the next lap, I'll make sure to slow it down, but as soon as you step over the mound into this field, it is like being hit
with a brick wall with a gust of wind, and you can see it's tipping it down. Rain droplets covering the GoPro too. We're just about to hit a kilometre in a few seconds. We're currently running at a time of 4 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometre, so it's a quick start. I have done well so far. However, my Strava did read that it was about 5.19 kilometres by the end, so we do need to be running faster than that 5-minute time if we do want to beat that 25-minute time. But 25:21 is the time which I will be happy to beat, as that is the time that I previously got at this park run just a few months ago. So we have made it to the downhill, almost 1.5 kilometres in. This is nice. This is where you can rest the legs, going down from 50 metres all the way to approximately 40. So it's a nice 10-metre elevation drop. You'll notice the finish funnel there on that right-hand side too. If you did want all the information on this course, I did do a second video, which is the Southwick Country Park Parkrun review, which I'll leave a link to as well in the description below. So if you want to check that out, it's got all the tips and tricks for this park run. Everything you need to know is on there too. But we're doing okay at the moment. We're coming up towards 3/4 of the first lap done. We're turning off to the left-hand side. That's the hill done for lap 1. However, it's coming up again here in lap 2. And this post here on the left-hand side illustrates where the start line is for this park run. So it took us about 9 minutes for lap 1. So we need to pick it up slightly because we are a little bit behind if we do want to get that sub 25-minute time. So it's going to be really close, I feel, today in this one, whether we do manage to get it or not. Back on the flat though, which is nice. It's newly laid path 2. They've widened the path. I'm not sure if it was widened primarily because of the park run, but it definitely felt wider compared to the first time which I did run. But you did sort of have to keep your eyes on the ground for pretty much most of the park run due to the fact of the storm and the fact that it was uneven ground due to a new path. 2 kilometres in now, time 9 minutes and 40, so that one was slightly slower than the first kilometre, but I expected that as I did start to pull off a little bit too quickly, and I tried to get into my rhythm again as after I'd done all those overtakes. So we are just coming over this mound, and this was like a wind tunnel here. So as soon as you ran out of here, it was like being hit by a brick wall of wind, and then the path got slightly muddier and more puddly too. Giving the quick GoPro a wipe just to make sure that all is okay. You can see a doggo there in front too. Must have been a pain in the bum to go and clean that doggo straight after. But we're doing okay. We're approximately halfway through. Well, actually, once it is 2.6 kilometres, we will be halfway through. So fingers crossed that the time is 12:30 or less. So that is kilometre 3 done with a time of 4:54. So we have slowed down ever so slightly, especially as we need to get a time of about 4:49 based on the distance of 5.19k to beat that 25-minute time. So we are a little bit off right now. So we need to speed up ever so slightly. We're catching up to a couple of people though, so I can see I'm pacing myself just that little bit better, because usually if I don't pace myself very well, you will notice that towards the end of the run, people begin to overtake me, or sort of halfway through the run, people overtake me. Whereas this time I was able to slowly, progressively get that little bit quicker to catch up to that 25-minute time. We're just about to overtake the tail walkers here over the right-hand side, trying to dodge the puddles there too, so we don't get too wet and muddy. And then we're heading back to that downhill so we can rest the legs for a little bit longer before completing that final lap. So we've probably got about 1 lap to go from here. And that is kilometre 4 done, 1 kilometre to go, and we have picked up that pace back to 4:49. You can see me then checking my phone to make sure I was running at a quick enough pace if I did want to get sub 25. That's the last time we'll have to see that volunteer too, and I'm going to say a massive thank you to all the volunteers at the end of this run because the storm was horrific. Back onto the muddy path, slight uphill too, trying to just push our way towards that finish line to get under that 25-minute time. You can see the elevation there in that bottom right will begin to increase too. This goes a little bit wild due to the GPS in this woodland area. Hopping over the puddles again. While trying to hop over the puddles, you'll see I didn't do a very good job of it at the end. Shirt was feeling really, well, top was feeling really heavy too. Everything was soaked from head to toe, and the GoPro footage thankfully looked okay. So here we go into that final kilometre. Can we get a sub 25? About 500 meters to go. It's currently 22:19 approximately, and it is going to be a tough sprint to this finish line. It's going to be close. I know that 25 minutes, I think the PB's beaten. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking at the time now and I'm thinking there's no chance that I'm going to lose to my PB time at this course. However, to get sub 25, which was the challenge I set out for myself, will that one be possible? And with 100 meters left to run, it is time to put the burners on. It is going to be really close. We are trying to pick up the pace right now. This grey hoodie man has just taken over us, so we need to get around them. And then we have got the dog runner just in front of us. Can we pick up the pace and get it? It's going to be really close. Not long left, around 15 seconds to get under that 25-minute time. I don't think it's going to be our day today, or is it? Can we get around the dog? That's the question. No, we're being held up by the dog. This isn't ideal. This is not ideal at all. No, we slow it down too. And that does mean that we get a time of 25 minutes and 3 seconds. So maybe we could have done it if we could have slipped around that dog there at the end, or maybe at the start too, if we had a better start than we did. Maybe we could have got sub 25, but it was not to be today. However, we did manage to beat my PB of 25:21, so happy days. Now let's take a look at a summary.
And that is Southwick Country Park Parkrun done, attempt number 2, and I've got a feeling it's going to be close. I think I may have just gone over that 25-minute time, but I'm happy anyway because I was able to beat my PB from the previous run. The conditions made it a lot harder too, especially once you ran out onto the field. You could really feel the wind on your face pushing you backwards, which was making you go a little bit slower. It was also very wet on foot, and they had actually just made one of the sections slightly wider, so I'd put a fresh new layer of gravel on, which made it a bit more softer on foot and a little bit slippier, so you had to sort of keep your eyes on the ground. Also loads of puddles too, so the weather really didn't help me as I tried to beat that 25-minute time. As you can see at the end, there was the man and his dog, and I didn't want to run straight through them, so unfortunately I couldn't get around them. Maybe I could have just got under that 25-minute time if I had a bit more space, but that's fine. It's parkrun at the end of the day. It is not a race. With all that being said, let's get back into the studio and see how much I've improved my time and my position since last time I ran. Just before we do go into studio, look at how muddy my legs got from that run. You could definitely tell there was lots of puddles and lots of boggy areas too.
And we are back in the studio, and as you can see, it was very muddy and very wet. So thankfully, because I was running and I had all my gear on, I wasn't too cold. However, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of the volunteers at this park run and any of the other park runs which went on during Storm Bert, because the weather was horrific. It was very windy too, and it was very wet, which meant it was a little bit miserable. But I've done volunteering before at Pomfrey Hill Park Run, and that was good fun, and that was absolutely tipping it down too. So I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the volunteers. It was great to see them in such high spirit despite the weather. But although we didn't beat that 25-minute time, let's have a look at how much we did improve on our previous attempt at this run. So the time was 25 minutes 03, which meant I was 18 seconds faster than my previous time. So very happy about that. My position, it decreased as well to 29, so I was actually 18 positions ahead of the previous run. My age grade percentage also increased to a 51.5%, meaning an increase of 0.61% too, so that is great news. And my pace was just approximately 5 kilometers, but unfortunately I wasn't on the underside of that 5 kilometer pace, but that was an increase by 4 seconds per kilometer too. So done pretty well, pretty chuffed with my overall time, even though I didn't get under that 25 minutes. I did fail that challenge, unfortunately. But that is it for this video. So if you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new too. We're going to get more park runs out. And next week we are going to be heading over to Wales. So we're going to be either doing Grangemore or Llanishen. I'm not sure how you say that second one, but both of those are in Cardiff. So hopefully we're going to be doing one of those two. So that's going to be ticking off a new park run too. So I'll be up to 47, which is great news. And if you do enjoy watching park run videos, then you can go and check out last week's, which we did in Evesham, celebrating their 400th event where I paced my girlfriend to her new PB. So that one was great fun. Or you can go and check out all of my park run in the Worldwide Park Run playlist. There's plenty of choice there, over 50 videos now. So you can go and check those out too. But in summary, I failed the sub 25 challenge. Unfortunately, I need to get back training, and then hopefully when we return here, we'll be able to get sub 25. Hope you all enjoyed this one though, and I'll see you all in the next one.